All right, ladies and gents, I think we are just about ready to get the stream rolling for today. Yeah, it seems like we are all good to go. Welcome, everybody, back again to another stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me move the microphone just a tiny bit closer. There we go. Don't get scared now. Welcome back, everybody, to another stream. Today is stream number 403, and we are going to be doing some Ninjago tier listing today. That is the plan for today's stream. Before we get started with all of that, though, let's go over our streaming schedule. We stream Monday to Friday, 6 to 7 Central, daily updates on the community tab, all of that good stuff. And like I said, for today's stream, we are going to be doing a bit of a tier maker session. Got a couple of tier lists that I kind of want to do, but for the most part I will be taking probably viewer suggestions depending on what tier list you guys want me to do, so keep that in mind. Maybe if you have an idea for a tier list that we could do for today's stream, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I did see one on Tier Maker that I did kind of want to do that I think could be fun, so that's the plan for today's stream. Really quick, throughout the rest of this week, tomorrow we will be doing the Kahoot, the one Kahoot that we never got a chance to do, that I made many moons ago. Tomorrow we are going to be doing kind of a trial session with that Kahoot, with the new restrictions that Kahoot's website has placed on all of us. So if that goes well tomorrow, maybe we could bring back Kahoots as a regular thing here on the streams once again. So if you want to take part in a bit of a guinea pig trial stream, tune on in tomorrow. That'll be the Kahoot day. Otherwise, on Friday, it'll be the normal 2-hour-long gaming session thing. So that's what it's going to be looking like for the rest of this week. With that being said, though, guys, hopefully you guys are having a pretty good Wednesday evening. Today is Wednesday, yes? Oh yes, indeed, it is Wednesday. So let me know how you guys are doing in the chat on this lovely Wednesday evening. I will take a sip of my water really quick. Feel free to let me know what you guys got going on this lovely Wednesday evening. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Yes, indeed. Today's Thursday. Oh, man, future peoples. It's Wednesday for me, unfortunately. I'm living in the past. Gosh, heck it. Tired? I feel that. So sleepy, it's 1 a.m. Then go to bed, man. The streams will always be here when you wake up. You can always rewatch the stream as a video. Whatever works for y'all. Are we done with yesterday's high school drama? Actually, I will talk about that really quick. It actually wasn't like stereotypical Ninjago community drama. There was genuinely like a concern, and I apologize for it because that was the right thing to do in that situation. So we're all good now, though. The people in question have reached out, and yeah, we're all good now, but it wasn't like stereotypical Ninjago drama where we're literally fighting about nothing. This was actually something pretty serious. Well, not like super serious in the sense that it was like such a horrible thing, but an apology was warranted. So I took care of all that, though, and we are pretty much good regarding all the dramas. I hesitate to even call it drama. It was more so just a legitimate concern. But yeah, we took care of all that, so yeah, we're pretty good. Definitely not your stereotypical Ninjago drama where we fight over nonsense. So that was actually kind of refreshing to deal with, in all honesty. But yeah, no, we're all good. Everyone is just fine and dandy. Let's see, what else do we got here? Satisfied just got an OG Cole training set. That's pretty cool. Not a bad find at all. Do you have the Ninjago Ultra Combo Mech? I do, yeah. It's in pieces and in storage, but I do have that set lying around somewhere here. Do you like my profile pic? Yeah, it's King Vangelis, otherwise known as the Skull Sorcerer. Yeah, looking pretty cool there. Me want trailer pajama men. Yeah, hopefully it's coming soon. Oh yeah, we can talk about that really quick. Doc Wyatt kind of dropped a bombshell today, right before stream started actually, but I will definitely be doing videos on this for tomorrow. What was the tweet in question? Somebody replied, or somebody tweeted at him, "Hey Doc, is there a chance that Nia and Jay would stumble across the remains of Ninjago at some point if all the realms merged into one? The remains should still be there somewhere." Doc Wyatt replies, "I can't wait for you to see the trailer." So Ninjago confirmed, maybe, for Dragon's Rising? I mean, that would make sense, right? Ninjago's probably still out there somewhere in the merged realms. Probably not, like, in a stable condition, but the remains probably should still be there somewhere. So I guess we might be getting Ninjago in Dragon's Rising Part 2, perhaps. Maybe even in the trailer. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll definitely be making some videos tomorrow talking about that, because I do think that would be pretty cool. It could also just be a case of Doc Wyatt wants us to see the trailer just because, you know, he wants us to stop asking about it, but he doesn't seem like that type of guy. So I guess Ninjago, maybe. Again, I'll talk more about that for tomorrow's videos and such. Can't wait for Blue Nauticon. He's real. I knew it. All the people that laughed at me for Blue Nauticon. Oh, I bet they feel probably indifferent now because it's Blue Nauticon. What else do we got here in the chat here? But no, I just thought that was pretty cool. Rate Ninjago on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say about maybe like a 9 out of 10. They definitely have some hiccups along the way. You know, some seasons aren't as good as others. But overall, as a collective series, I'd say probably a 9 out of 10. Yeah, Blue Nauticon. So for those that don't know the tale of Blue Nauticon, back when Ninjago Dragon's Rising was first being discussed, after Ninjago crystallized, we had a lot of information about the Quest for the Lost Powers book, and back then we knew Ninjago Dragon's Rising as Ninjago United because that was the name that was leaked. Obviously that wasn't the final name, but tomato tomato. But anywho, with the Quest for the Lost Powers book, some of the early descriptions made it sound like there was a chance that Nauticon was going to come back, and a lot of times where I talked about that in videos, I decided to Photoshop Nauticon having blue armor instead of green armor, just because I wanted something different. And the logo for Dragon's Rising, or at least the logo for Ninjago 2023 that they showed at Comic-Con, or was it LegoCon? One of the cons, it had like a blue tint to it, so that's usually what I based it off of, so that's why Blue Nauticon exists. Yeah, we called it United because that's what the title was. That's the title that was leaked on someone's resume. Someone like put their resume online and it said one of their projects was Ninjago United. So, you know. Excuse me, I gotta take a sip of my water here. My mouth is too dry and it sounds gross. But yeah, that's where Blue Nauticon comes from. Let's see, and where the Ninjago United name comes from too. Let's see. I read the Quest for the Lost Powers book. Anyone who didn't missed a lot. Yeah, it kind of explains why the ninja have powers again starting in Dragon's Rising. So it is a pretty good book to read, I'd say, if you want to read, like, or at least experience all of the Ninjago canon. That book is canon, and there are actually some pretty cool adventures that happen in that book. I have a few videos on it if you guys want to check those out on the channel. I got videos going through the whole book, so feel free to check those out if you so desire. Let's see. I want to make a Dragon's Rising mock. Any ideas? Ooh, that's a good question. What would be a good mock to make for Dragon's Rising? I'd say maybe like a Crossroads set. That probably wouldn't be too bad. Like a Crossroads scenery. It's not too shabby. Otherwise, I'm trying to think of like a vehicle. Ooh, you could maybe do the new Cloud Kingdom. That'd be nice. Not really a vehicle, but it's another location, the Cloud Kingdom. Definitely would not be a bad one to try to make, if that's something that's possible. Let's see, what else do we got here? United still sounds so much better than Dragon's Rising. Let's see. Yeah, honestly, I prefer the name United over Dragon's Rising, still a generic name. Yeah, United is kind of generic, but Dragon's Rising is also generic too. But I think both of those would fit for, you know, this new series. Dragon's Rising in the sense that it's about, well, dragons, but United in the sense that all of the realms are united. So I guess either title would work. Tomato, tomato for me. I kind of just prefer both of them. Today at school, there was a dust tornado and like 5 trash cans went flying. Thought it was funny. Dust tornadoes. I can comfortably say that I haven't seen one of those before. And honestly, I kind of don't want to. Dust tornado. Here's one, Dragons United. Hey, there you go. Yeah, Dragons United. Clash them both, or United Rising, but that one doesn't really roll off the tongue as well as Dragons United. Oh, well. Yeah, Dragons Uniting. Dust Devil. Oh, yeah, I've heard that term before. United was probably a test title. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, too. United was probably just the generic base title, like the work in progress title, before they changed it to Dragons Rising. Either way, I think United would have worked as a title. Master of Dust confirmed. Yeah, maybe. Master of Dirt, Master of Sand? Sure. Oh, there you go. Rising United Dragons. I think that's a winner right there. Rising United Dragons. That one is beautiful. With that being said, though, guys, let's switch gears over to tiermaker.com because I do want to do some tier lists today. That is the main goal of this stream right hither. Let me pull up my phone really quick so I can monitor the chat, because I'm not going to be able to do that on my computer here while we're doing tier lists. Let us see here. There is mine chat. Awesome. So, tiermaker.com. I don't have like a set tier list planned for today, like a tier list that I want to do. So I figured we could take some suggestions. We're on tiermaker.com here, just looking at the more popular Ninjago tier lists out there. My mind was kind of on this one, or at least my eyes were kind of on this one. This is a tier list of all of the Ninjago/Ninjago movie sets up until 2022. So there are a lot of sets here. Not sure if this one is one that we can do on stream because it's so long. The only way that we could do this one right now is if we went through it rapid fire, because there are a lot of sets here. So I don't know if you guys are interested in that one. Otherwise, if you guys had another idea, maybe we could look through some of these. Ninjago shipping tiers. I don't know, man. Usually those never go well. But maybe we could add like a little twist to it, like ranking them, I guess, in terms of like, oh, here we go. Top Ninjago ships. What's this all about? OTP, ship, cute, just friends, no TP. All right, we got a couple of different ships here. Oh man, I sure do love Zane and Nia. That's an OTP for sure. For sure, right there. I mean, we could do ships if you guys want. It's been a minute since we've, what is this one supposed to be? Like Cole, Zane, and Kai? Like a thruple? Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Look at this one. Zane, Cole, and Jay. That is interesting. Yeah, maybe we can save the shipping tier list for a little bit later. Yeah, usually those tend to cause some ruckuses throughout the Ninjago community, so maybe we should try something else there. Yeah, not the shipping tier list again. Let's check out some of the more recent ones. Instead of popular, let's go recent. Let's see. Every Ninjago set... Oh, good lord. Every Ninjago set 2011 to 2023. Oh, yeah. There they all are. See, if we're going to do a set tier list, this would definitely be the one to do. We're also kind of lagging a little bit. Excuse me? Why is we lagging? Look how many sets there are, dude. That one might be fun to do for a video at some point. What else do we got here? Let's see. Ninjago Reimagined. Best 28 characters. Why are Kapow and Chop in the thumbnail for that one? What type of characters are we ranking here? Okay, not too bad. Just someone's like personal list there. Yeah, we could do a season tier list, but kind of feel like that one's a little bit overdone, dare I say. What else do we have here? Ninjago villains. Is that every Ninjago villain? I don't think it's every villain, just some of the main guys, some of the main boys. Ooh, Ninjago masks hood tier list. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about that in another stream, didn't we? Let's see if they have it. Ninjago masks. Because I wouldn't be opposed to doing that one. This is not what I need. We got Bionicle masks. What if I typed in Ninjago hoods? Is that the term that I need to search for? Oop, my phone falls. Ninjago hoods. Oh, here we go. Ninjago hoods ranking. Do they have all of them? Just some of them. Alright, you know what? This will be fine. I think they have up until the season 11/crystallized one. Or wait, there are some ones after that. Oh, they have the... Okay, so this is kind of recent. We can do this one if you guys want. Ooh, we also have ourselves a membership here being gifted. GPG gifted somebody a membership. Thank you, GPG. Congratulations to Oaktown Bricks, who is now a channel member. Hopefully you enjoy your custom emojis and shoutouts at the end of every upload. Thank you, GPG, for gifting a membership. I appreciate that. So yeah, let's do this tier list quick. I will be changing the tiers quick just because I don't like S tier. It bothers me. I also need to change the colors because the colors will bother me if they're not all somewhat different. Here we go. That's a little bit better. What are we ranking? We are ranking the Ninjago masks here. Masks/hoods. I think that's what we're going to do to start. And obviously this won't take us the entire time, so we can do a couple of them. So what do you guys think about the... Let's start down here. What about the possession... Skybound, Day of the Departed, Hands of Time mask. I do really enjoy this mask just because it's kind of like dual molded and you get some really cool color combinations out of this one. I'm honestly thinking A tier for this one. I mean, this one's pretty good. The only thing that I can say that's negative about this one is that sometimes the color combinations are ugly, like with Nia's suits, for example. But honestly, these ones aren't too bad. These might be one of my favorite masks of all time. Good one to start with. We also have, let's see, Theron Alexander? Hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly there. Welcome to True Potential. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Hopefully you enjoy your custom shoutouts, or custom emojis and badges and shoutouts, my bad. We also have GPG gifting 5 more channel memberships. Thank you so much, GPG, who became a member off of that generous contribution there. Jazzy Top Hats, welcome to the channel members. Gaming Bunny 21. Sammy360, Logan, and Cake Buns. Thank you very much for joining, or congratulations for becoming channel members. Thank you, GPG, for gifting more channel members. I appreciate that. Congratulations to all of the new channel members. Thank you very much, GPG. Very generous. Let's see. How come there are less masks? Yeah, I feel like some are missing here. This doesn't seem like all of them, but I feel like these are probably like the main ones. Like the Kendo helmets aren't here. At least the ZX hoods are here. Let's do the half masks for this one, or for the next one. Half masks. How do you guys feel about the half masks? I think they look good on some suits. Honestly, they look good on pretty much every suit that they've been on. It is a pretty simplistic piece. Like trying to figure out like what I'm trying to say here. It's very simplistic, but it does show off the hair. Honestly, I'm thinking A tier for these ones too. I don't know if I like them more than the dual molded ones here though. They're kind of like they're close, but I think the dual molded ones are still a tiny bit better. Let's see what you guys are ranking here. The Skybound masks aren't here. Oh, the Skybound ones are kind of just lumped in with these ones, the dual molded ones, just because it's the same part. But yeah, that is true. Someone else said that the Seabound scuba masks aren't here. Yep, I don't see them. That is one that is indeed missing. Let's see. What do you guys think about these ones? I'm seeing anywhere from like A to C. I understand why you guys would say C, because on the surface, I guess they're not like that exciting, right? But I think they do work for all of the suits that they are on. So, oh man, drinking a lot of water today. A tier, A tier. Awesome. Let's see. Island masks and the headbands aren't here. Yeah, but they kind of have the half masks going too, so I guess they just kind of lump into that category. But it is true, the headbands aren't here either. The ZX hoods. Here's kind of a controversial opinion about the ZX hoods. I'm going to say B tier for these guys, simply because in some cases they look kind of strange. Like on the Zukin suits, for example, the jungle suits from Tournament. I like Tournament, but those costumes aren't the best. It's a very strange setup. It's basically this piece, but they don't have the crest. And I'm going to be wholeheartedly honest too. When I was a kid, and I still do have OCD somewhat, but when I was a kid, I was never a big fan of some of them having gold and some of them having silver. Kind of wish the crests were all one color, but I don't know, they're just okay. There are definitely better ninja masks out there, and B tier isn't anything to, you know, ignore either. B tier is pretty good. Now, the jungle suits are okay. They're just not like my all-time favorites or anything like that. They're certainly fine, though. They're certainly fine. Plus the armor prints fade. Oh, that is true. Yeah, the armor prints fade away over time. That is true. I do have a couple of these pieces where the crests are fading away. Yeah, so that's a problem as well. I'm not sure if any other Ninjago hood has that problem, to be honest with you. Maybe the hero suits, but then again, those are like dual molded. It's not like, you know, like painted on there or anything like that. So I'd say B tier for these guys. A lot of you guys are saying A tier though. That's totally understandable. Totally understandable. Let's see. This list is mid. Don't worry, we'll do some more exciting ones later on. Ooh, do the Nindroid hoods count? I guess those would kind of count as like ninja hoods, right? The dragon hoods from the crystallized dragon form ninja. These ones aren't too bad, but I do kind of prefer other hoods more. I think I'm gonna put these guys in the C tier. I mean, they're totally fine hoods, you know. I like how they are shaped like dragons. I don't know. I just don't like them as much as some of the other ones. I'd say C tier for these guys. Ooh, a lot of A's right off the bat. Love those hoods. Yeah, it's totally understandable. Either C or B for me. Yeah, I don't know. They're not like, I don't know. They're not like super memorable for me either. I mean, they certainly are something though. They look good on the Dragon Ninja, I'll tell you that much. I don't think you could put another mask over the Dragon Ninja. Like if they tried to do that with these hoods, the Forbidden Spinjitzu hoods, I don't think they would look as cool. So I'll say C tier for these ones. Maybe we can switch it up as we wrap up this list. It surely won't be that long. We only have a couple here. The hero masks, the ninja / knight thing. Same deal as the ZX hoods. I'm not a huge fan of how some of them are gold, some of them are silver. And they look more like knights to me, so maybe I'll say B tier for these guys. I do like how they kind of combined like the knight and ninja hoods though, like the two different aesthetics they combined together there. That's pretty cool. Like I said though, the same OCD problems are still there for me. And what makes it even worse is that for Cole, for example, his ZX armor was silver, his hero armor is gold. I wish they would have kept that consistent. At least it's consistent with Kai, Zane, and Lloyd, technically, with his ZX armor being silver grayish. Oh, and also Jay. I don't know. Have a little bit of beef with this one here, but it's not that bad. Let's see. Seeing a lot of Bs. A lot of Bs. Heroes S, they are so cool. They are pretty cool. I think it works for Master of the Mountain. Let's see. What if Nauticon caused the merge? That would certainly be interesting. I don't know if he did, though. Can't say for sure. Is there the pilot masks? Yeah, right over here. These are like the pilot / season 1 masks. The Digi Ninja, these guys, the gaming ones. I think for Prime Empire, they work, but in every other context, I can't see these working for like anything else. So I'm going to say C tier. Honestly, those might be my least favorite so far. I don't know. I think they work with Prime Empire, right? They work for Prime Empire. Like I said, though, if you want to have them in like any other context, I don't know if that would work so well. Some of these other suits are kind of like multi-purpose, or not suits, sorry, the masks. Some of the other masks / hoods are kind of multi-purpose. These ones not so much, so I feel like that restricts it. I can speak English. I think it restricts it a lot, in my opinion. So. Yeah, only for Prime Empire, exactly. They look like they belong in a video game. Maybe they could work for like Season 3 mocks, but outside of those two very specific situations, I don't know how well they would work. They are unique. That's true. Yeah, they are unique, and they do look good. It looks like a video game ninja. So, yeah, restrictive. I can speak English coherently in a sentence, right? The Forbidden Spinjitzu hoods. These guys. Here's another, I don't know if this is going to be a hot take, but I'm not the biggest fan of these ones either. I like the idea of energy kind of like shooting out the back of the head, like Dragon Ball style. I think that is a cool idea, but I don't know. These guys kind of dropped the ball when it came to actually making a mask that looked good from the front. It kind of looks kind of ugly from the front, does it not? Yeah, I might bump this down to D tier. These might be my least favorite, actually. I do like the color combination, though, and like I said, I do like the energy, but I feel like that could have been done a whole lot better. It's supposed to look like this hood, too, but it just doesn't really look like that, you know? I don't know, there's like a disconnect there. I don't know. And yeah, the fire does look kind of weird when you consider that, like, other elements also utilize the same thing, like lightning, for example. I think it works better for other elements, though. Like, this could work for fire, could even work for water or ice, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about these guys, to be honest. These hoods, they're kind of alright. And most of them are either, like, silver or gold, so I don't know. It do be what it do be, I guess. A lot of you guys also don't have a lot of great things to say about these hoods either. Seems like these ones are kind of hated. Some people do like them, though, but that's okay. Let's see. Today I got Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Ooh, very, very cool. I think that game looks like fun. If I was a Star Wars fan, I would love to play that game. But I am not, so alas, I have not played that game. But it does look pretty fun. Next up, we have the pilot hoods, the classic ninja hood from the 90s that they brought back for Ninjago for its first year. I like these things a lot, actually. They are kind of restrictive as well. There's not like a whole lot that you can do with them, but they are classics. So I think I'll put them maybe above the hero hoods, but below the ZX hoods. Like I said, these things are classic, nostalgic, everything in between. The weird clip on the back of the hood is kind of awkward. I never was able to get that to work. I always thought that it looked so weird when holding a weapon. But you know, it's the classic ninja hood. I think they totally made the design better as time went on, though. So I'll say B tier for right now. I'll say B tier. What do you guys have to say about these lovely masks here? Let's see. A tier, B tier. I'm seeing a bunch of A's and B's. Couple C's in there. That's all right. I don't think I can put it in the C tier. I think that's a little bit too low in my opinion. But you know, for nostalgia's sake, I'll say B tier for these guys. Oh man, B for BS. I don't know about that. Next up, what do we got? Next up, we got these ones. This is going to be interesting to see. The Ninjago movie hoods / Sons of Garmadon hoods / Ninjago hunted hoods. How do you guys feel about these things? There are certainly some mixed opinions that I've seen in my day. Some people love these hoods. Some people absolutely hate them. I think there's a reason why they were only used for like 3 things. I don't know. I like how they look to an extent. I think they work for the movie. Not so much for seasons 8 and 9, though. And also, like, physically, when you have the mask, it's, like, difficult to, you know, transfer one head to another because it's a 2-piece mask or whatever. But it looks totally fine. I'll say B tier, but I'll probably put it below the hero suits. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense there. Like I said, I like the design of it. I think that some suits utilized those masks better than others, though, but they're all right. I'll say B tier for these guys as well. A, they actually look like ninjas. That is true. Very true. Let's see. What else do we got here? F. I don't know. I think if anyone's going an F, it's these guys down here. Minifigs are so frustrating. Yeah, I agree. I used to find it really difficult. I still do whenever I want to like swap around like faces and hoods and all that. I did a post recently where I put the original faces on the Sons of Garmadon suits, and that was certainly a process to get all of those faces on these suits, but you know, it's all because of that mask. I don't think the masks are that bad, though. Finally, last but not least, we have the Ninjago Legacy / Season 11 / Ninjago Crystallized hoods. These guys have been used for a ton of things. Also, the Ninjago core minifigures use these masks as well. And when they were first revealed, I absolutely hated them. But over time, they grew on me. I don't think they deserve A tier, though, to be honest. Yeah, they are kind of overused, I agree. They're used on a lot of things, but I do like some of the combinations that we got. Wish we could get some other combinations, though. I will say for these guys, I'll probably put them right here, in between the originals and the hero hoods. I don't mind these hoods overall. I do like... do you guys like the super long, like, headband tailpiece that, like, runs down the back of the mask? I know some folks think it's, like, too long, but I kind of like that. It does restrict what type of armor you can put on the figure, but I don't know. I think the Season 11 armor piece looks totally fine with these masks, but I totally understand what people are getting at when they say that. But I do kind of like them. I like how long they are. That's one thing that I've always kind of liked about these masks. That's what I like about them. Cool. Yeah, it's a pretty unique touch. Like the Sons of Garmadon headband wrap tie things are super short, but these ones are kind of long. Let's see. What were the wannabe Imperium kids called from episode 7? I do not remember. The annoying bunch? I don't know. They certainly didn't really do the season any favors, that's for sure. Like it, but it's hard to position. Yeah, that's true. You can't really, you know, like turn the head. It's kind of like stuck in that one place. I think the best mask for like turning the heads might be these ones right here, the Ninjago movie hoods. You can get a lot of movement out of those guys. No Dragon's Rising masks. Nah, I mean, they didn't have them on this tier list. By the way, this tier list was made by For Real I Don't Know. Huge shout out to you. But yeah, they didn't have all the hoods here. I don't know where I'd put the Dragon's Rising hoods. They're certainly okay, but they have a lot of the same problems as some of these other ones where you can't really move the head all that much. They kind of remind me of a cross between like the Sons of Garmadon hoods and one of these static fixed ones. Probably the originals, to be honest with you. I feel like they kind of just combined both of those. Take another sip of my water here. I don't know why, but for some reason my mouth is like really dry today. So, apologies if I keep on drinking water. But yeah, that's that tier list. None of them in F. I do like these somewhat, so I don't think they're a complete failure. But let's go back to tiermaker.com, see what we can't find here. What in the world is going on here? Do I even want to... I'm clicking on this. What is this? Oh. Oh! We could have just used this list. This has all of them, right? Movie. They even have the Dragon's Rising one. Forbidden Spinjitzu, ZX. Honestly, this one probably would have been better to do. I don't know what's going on in the thumbnail here. That does not portray what the tier list is all about. Let's see. I'm open to other ideas. Let's go back to Ninjago tier lists here. Do a Transmorphers tier list. That could be fun to do one day. Not sure if we're going to get to that today, though. That would be fun to do at some point. What else do we got here? Ninjago Loloids. We have like 18 different tier lists for Ninjago ships. Ninjago character tier list. Does this really have 339 characters on here? Oh, man. Yes, indeed it does. My screen's starting to lag. I wonder what this is. No image. Yeah, a lot of characters there. In fact, there are so many characters it's causing the stream to lag here, so let's not do that. Let's see. That's a lot of characters. Let's see. Ninjago collectible tier list. I think we did that at one point in time, didn't we? Like recently, I think we did that. Wouldn't be opposed to doing it again, but let's see if we can find one that we haven't done yet. Open to ideas. Yeah, do that for a video. That one, yeah, that might make for a good video. Ranking like 300 plus Ninjago characters. Here we go. Los YouTubers de Ninjago en Español. We got Excelente, we got Bueno, 50-50, Malo y probablemente no mejorara. And then Nolo Conosco. I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know if we should rank these guys. I have no idea that there was a Spanish Ninjago community, but that does make sense. What else do we got here? And I also can't speak Spanish to save my life. I know like 2 phrases in Spanish. I have no idea. What else do we got here? More Ninjago ships. What about like recent ones? The popular ones aren't really doing us any favors. What's this? OGs versus redesigns. What is this list all about? Seems like they have... Okay, is it just like a design tier list? That could be fun to do. The Weekend Whips. I thought we did that recently. Or maybe we put them all into a bracket fight, didn't we? Yeah, I think so. What else do we got here? Surely there's got to be something that we can do. Ninjago Ninjas. Elemental Powers. How many do you have here? Whoa. Why are there so many elemental powers? Oh, some people are in here twice. That's why. Okay, we could do something with this, right? Like maybe like what powers would be awesome to have in real life, perhaps? Do a list based on what characters you could beat in a fight. I mean, we could totally do that with this list too, but I'm pretty sure we just did that as well. Maybe we could do like which of these powers would be awesome to have in real life type of thing. Like would want in real life versus don't want. Maybe something like that. Maybe we can switch it up a little bit. Gotta find something to do. Yeah, I think we did that with Dragon's Rising characters recently. We put them all into a tier list, and we were like, who could we beat up? But we could totally do that with this list, too, with the Elemental Masters. I don't think I'm going to be beating any of these characters, though, to be honest with you. Oh, man. Let's rank Lego YouTubers. I don't know. Not sure if I want to start any more drama. I'm sure that tier list would totally start some drama. Let's see. I mean, this one won't be too bad. Weapons, please. Kind of want to do this one here. Let's do this one. What should our tiers be if we're doing it based on, like, most desirable powers? Or how about we do, like, most useful? Yeah, we could rank the elemental powers based on how useful they are. Ain't no one leaving this party? Thank you, Goldamo Games, for subbing. Appreciate that. So I will say, very useful. Somewhat useful. Somewhat useful. I can't spell to save my life. Ignore that. Not very useful. And useless. How about we just roll with these couple of powers here? Let's get rid of these 2 rows. And also we must change the colors. I want green and I want blue. I also would like to spell correctly. There we go. All right, let's take a vote. Let's see, very useful, somewhat useful, not very useful, useless. All right, cool. Let's start with smoke. What do you guys reckon for smoke? Do you think that's a good power, or where would you rank it on the short little list here? I kind of think smoke, it could be good in like certain scenarios, right? Like we saw Ash do some crazy things with smoke during tournament. I kind of want to say somewhat useful for this. Useful? I'll say somewhat useful. I mean, you can make a smoke screen. You can blind your enemies. I think that's pretty good considering it's smoke. I'll say somewhat useful for smoke. It's certainly not gonna kill anyone, but I can imagine smoke being very good for stealthy situations. Useless unless fighting. I mean, sure, that is kind of true, right? I mean, in everyday scenario, that's something that we should consider too. Like everyday scenarios, like would smoke be beneficial? Probably not, unless you're like lost in the woods and it's like, oh, let's make a smoke signal or whatever. I'll say somewhat useful. Form. I'm going to go ahead and say very useful for form. Because form, you could do a lot of different things. You can literally disguise yourself as someone else entirely. You can infiltrate the government if you had the form power, right? Yeah, I'll say very useful for form. Very useful, can form into anyone. Yeah, exactly. You can become anyone that you want. Honestly, that might be our most useful one ever. You could commit a lot of crimes with form. Very true. I can see why Camille turned to a life of crime at some point after tournament. I mean, if I had that power, I'd probably do some devious things as well. You could become a woman. Absolutely. I'll say very useful for form. I'd become a villain legit. Oh yeah, I feel like whoever has this power is going down the villainous route. Creation! I'd say pretty useful. You can make anything. You can create anything. Yeah. I'd say very useful. I don't know what's more useful, though. Like, what's better? Turning into anyone or creating anything? I kind of feel like creating anything, because even if you couldn't, like, you know, because with form, I don't know, you can't, like, create stuff. You can create, like, physical objects. So, that is true. Wu doesn't really do much with his creation power, but, I don't know. I feel like...
Ain't no one leaving this party?
Thank you, FRS Hobbies, for subbing. I don't know. I feel like with what we saw in the show, what very little we saw, I think it's very useful, in my opinion. That picture of the mask tier list was outrageous. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in that one. Let's see. Trying to collect all the ninja suits. Just got all the ZX Ninja. Let's see. Ooh, for 35 bucks. Not too bad there. Any more tips? I'd say keep on checking Bricklink, eBay, Mercari. Check multiple websites because you might find a good price on one of those depending on what you're looking for. So keep on the hunt. I'm sure it'll go well for you. Ice. Let's do ice next. How do you guys feel about ice? I'd say it's pretty useful because you can freeze things. If you are having a barbecue and you run out of ice, no big deal. I'm the master of ice. I can just freeze some water or even just make ice on your own, you know, and there you go. You saved the barbecue. I kind of want to say very useful, but I'm trying to like figure out like what everyday scenarios ice would be useful in. Yeah, a lot of you guys are saying somewhat. I might bump it down to somewhat useful. I feel like you got to be in a very specific situation. Like, say, if it's, like, a warm day or whatever. Yeah, it would be good for summer. But in winter, what are you going to do with ice? Unless you're making, like, an iced coffee or something, you know? I'll say somewhat useful for ice. Also, I'm not sure if we're going to be, like, you know, ranking these or whatever. I'd say we just, like, drop them into tiers and call it good from there. More than smoke, though. Yeah, probably. Like I said, though, it's not, like, in any particular order here. I'll say somewhat useful for ice. Wind. I mean, all right, with wind, you can fly, right? You can fly, and I'm sure you can control wind to an extent. Flying would be very useful. You could get from, like, point A to point B super quick if you could fly. I don't know. I think wind might be... Yeah, I think wind might be very useful. Because you can fly, right? Any element where you can fly, I think automatically you should put in very useful. Because flying would be very, very useful. Wind is better than ice. I'd say so, yeah. You can definitely do more things with wind, I'd say, as opposed to ice. Can't breathe if you go too high up. That's true. You gotta, like, you know, set your boundaries a little bit. But still, you can fly. So, Bro thinks she's Adam Warlock. There you go. Gravity. Same deal with gravity. I mean, you can float. You're not, like, super high up with gravity. I wonder how high up Gravis could get. But I'll say very useful, because like even if you could like float around the house, you can reach the pesky ceiling fan to dust it off, you know? You don't even need a ladder. I think gravity would work a lot for like everyday objects, so I'd say, or everyday scenarios, I mean. So I'd say very useful for gravity. I think Gravis is a very lucky boy. A lot of you guys are saying very useful as well. I agree. You could fly a hamburger over to you. Man, wouldn't that be the dream? Let's see. Somewhat useful, not very day-to-day. I don't know. I guess it just depends on what you do, for sure. Can you control the gravitational pull of objects? I hope so. Have we seen Gravis do that at all? I can't recall. I can't really remember. Moving on to sound. I don't know about sound. I mean, you can detect enemies, I guess. I guess that's good for very specific scenarios. You can like use sound waves to determine where people are in the room, I suppose. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like when I would use the power of sound. Kind of want to say not very useful, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm sure if you're blind, I'm sure that would make a lot more sense. Like you're basically like Daredevil. Like Jacob is Ninjago's Daredevil. So unless you're blind, sound is kind of useless. I was thinking that too. Yeah, you'll be blind. I don't know. Can you have the sound power and not be blind? Let's see. He is alive. Yeah. Oh yeah, if you were playing hide and seek, you would definitely win. I'll say not very useful because I feel like it's like only important in very specific situations. Fire. Fire would be cool to have. You can fly with fire. Kai has flown with fire before. We've seen that, especially in Rebooted at the Temple of Light. So I'd say, I don't want to say very useful because obviously you can like light fires and stuff, right? You can heat things up, all of that good stuff. I want to say somewhat useful because like how often are you going to use fire in day-to-day life, right? Unless you're like cooking. Actually, if you're cooking, you know what? Very useful. Kai would be the perfect chef if he knew how to cook. He could just heat things up on his own. I'd say very useful, actually. I've changed my mind. You can make a turkey burger with fire. Exactly. There you go. And also you can fly. Oh, you can start a forest fire. Of course. Only you can start forest fires, Master of Fire. Wasn't he fed to Klaus's serpent? No. Oh, Jacob? No, he's alive. What happened was when Klaus said, go feed the serpent, he literally meant that Jacob was going to feed the serpent. So he's still alive. They kind of left him behind on Chen's Island for a while there, but they came back and found him. Karloff, metal. So metal, I mean, it increases your strength, right? So, I mean, that could be somewhat useful if your job is like lifting heavy objects. Otherwise, like turning your entire body to metal, that's more so like a defensive thing. But, you know, I'm sure that could be useful in some scenarios. How do you guys feel about metal? I'm kind of on the fence with this one right here. Metal's not very useful, but it can grow taller, be indestructible, beat people up. I mean, that is true, yeah. If you're in a boxing match. You know what? I'll say not very useful because like the case with sound, I'm trying to figure out like everyday scenarios that could utilize the metal power. You know what I'm saying? Time. Oh, guys, time. Is anyone opposed to me putting it in very useful? I know we're also not ranking these, but I'm bumping this guy up to the top because I think time might be the most useful power on this entire list. You can control the different aspects of time. You can rewind, you can pause. Yeah, very, very useful. Absolutely. So many situations in life, I bet you everyone's like, you know, we all have those cases where it's like, oh man, I wish I could go back and change this or that. Well, now you can with time. If you make a mistake, just rewind and there you go. Don't make that mistake. Oh yeah, very useful, absolutely. Next up, nature. Unless you're a park ranger, I don't see this one being super useful. I mean, sure, you can like maybe regrow the forests that the fire user burned down, but aside from that, I don't know. How do you guys feel about nature? I suppose if you're like, you know, if you like being outside, it might not be a bad power to have, but I don't know. Nature be very useful. Plants galore. Yeah. Oh, you can grow food. True. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got you guys. I'm going to say somewhat useful then, because in that scenario, yeah, I mean, if you can literally control plants, you don't even need to buy food. Just grow your own food, right? Make your own little farm, grow some food. Absolutely. I'll say somewhat useful, because I didn't even realize that. I didn't even think about that. Poison Ivy IRL. Yeah, I bet you Bolobo isn't even affected by Poison Ivy. So there you go. Absolutely perfect. I'll say somewhat useful. Somewhat useful. Let's see. If you're in a city, it's useless. Yeah, this is more so for the country folks out there. Honestly, nature wouldn't be a bad power, the more that I think about it. Mind. Mind. So you can read people's minds. Can Nero control people's minds? I forget if he can do that or not. I guess that depends on, like, where it goes here. It's definitely somewhat useful because you can read people's minds. So, yeah, can control anyone's mind. Yeah, okay, I'll put it in very useful then. Trying to remember what Nero has done in the past. It's been a minute since I've rewatched Ninjago Hunted especially, but reading minds, that would be very useful. Again, that's like another supervillain power, you know? Same deal with form. Like, if anyone has these two powers, might turn into a supervillain. Very, very supervillainy in nature. Would become one of those psychics. Oh, there you go. You can make a lot of money with that too. Absolutely. Yep, very useful. Water. So hear me out. Water, I'm going to say very useful because water is kind of like essential, you know, for existing. So I'll say very useful. I mean, if you're thirsty, you can make your own water. And I'm sure Nia can filter water too, right? I mean, who's to say that she can't? And if not, just become friends with the Fire Master so you can boil water. I'm going to say very useful, obviously. It's water, right? Water is essential. That'd be like if there was like a blood elemental master. It's like, yeah, you kind of need blood to exist. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say very useful for water. I don't think anyone's going to be opposed to that one. We have a couple more to go here. So, oh yeah, and you can make a tsunami. True. Yeah, you can control water too. So there you go. More money-making schemes right there. Put on like water shows. There you go. And yeah, you wouldn't even have to buy water. So there you go. Save money and make money. Water's perfect. What is this? Okay, why do we have two overlord powers here? Is one of them supposed to be golden power? Let's say this is golden power. So, darkness. You can corrupt people. You'll literally become like a demon thing. I think that's pretty useful. You can make like an army of like mindless zombies or whatever. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this power? I'm thinking somewhat useful. But then again, if your thing is like controlling people and like making people like your slaves, basically, it would be very useful. So I guess I'll say somewhat useful because I guess it just depends on what you're trying to use it for. POV politicians. There you go. Yeah, politicians have the darkness power. Not too bad. I will say though, yeah, it depends on if you're a good guy or a bad guy. If you're a good guy, I'm not sure how useful that'll be to you. So I'll say, like, middle of the road, somewhat useful. Golden power, same deal, but, like, good. Like, these are kind of like the opposites of each other there. I'll say somewhat useful for golden power as well. Like I said, it just kind of depends on, like, what side you're playing on. If you're playing on the good side, I think it makes a little bit more sense, but I don't know. Yeah, exactly. What would you do with it? Yeah, I'd say somewhat useful. I'm sure you could purify things. That'd be kind of cool. Otherwise, you would just be, like, insanely powerful. So, you know. I'll say somewhat useful. I hesitate to see either of these working in everyday scenarios. Light. Turning invisible. Yeah, very useful. Again, another crime power. Turning invisible, you could get away with a lot. So I'll say very useful for the invisible man. Honestly. Oh, man. Let me stretch here. There you go. Maybe that's my problem. Just need to stretch for a little bit here. Yeah, imagine the crimes. Absolutely. A lot of these everyday, very useful powers would be great for criminals. Absolutely. Love crime powers. Yeah, you could break into people's houses, all that good stuff. Absolutely. You could rob a bank and get rich. Yep, for sure. Very useful. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that there. Amber. Okay, now Amber here, right? Think about this for a second, because I kind of know where I want to put this, but I kind of don't want to, I know where I want to put it, but I don't know if I want to, if that makes sense. So with Amber, if you have the power of Amber, Amber lets you copy people's powers, right? If you're the only person with an elemental power in the real world, you're not going to be able to do much with this. So I'm going to say useless. I don't like to put Skylar down at the bottom in like useless category, but it's not really her. It's more so the power, like existing in the real world. Not sure what you're going to be able to do with that power. Unless there's, like, you know, someone else running around with a power. But we're talking, like, everyday usage here. So I'm going to say useless. Yeah. In this world where it's, like, you know, there's no guarantee if there is another elemental master out there. I'd say useless, to be honest with you. Might be our first one in useless. Oh well. Next up, lightning. Okay, so with lightning, you could probably like charge things, right? Like you can charge your phone, charge your laptops, charge your Nintendo DS consoles. I think it's useful in that regard. You can also, you know, shock people. You'd probably be immune to a lot of electricity, but Jay also gets struck by lightning. So I don't know. I'm gonna put it in somewhat useful. I think it would work for very specific scenarios, but not like a lot of scenarios. You know, like with electronics, it would probably work okay, but you know, if you're trying to like, you know, just go about your day, I'm not sure how often you're gonna be able to electrocute something. So. Let's see. Maybe with Amber in the real world, you can copy real world elements like absorb an earthquake. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I mean, I think that might make sense in the real world context. I don't know. I feel like right now we might just keep it in useless. Maybe we can bump it up a little bit later, but that would make sense. Yeah, you can charge your Tesla. There you go. Any Elon Musk fans out there, you can charge your Tesla. Earth. I mean, super strength, right? But does that come from the earth power, or is that just Cole being a strong guy? I don't know. What can you do with earth? You can make you can make earthquakes with earth, right? You can lift things up really loud, or really loud. You can lift things up that are really heavy. Yes, I can lift really loud objects. Absolutely. Super strength. I mean, super strength might be good. Oh yeah, landscaping things, lava arms. Okay. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. I'll say very useful. With the lava arms especially, you can do a lot of things. I'll say very useful. You guys have convinced me. You can sound heavy and lift loud. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, you could also create shelter. That's cool. Yeah. Very cool. All right, cool. Very useful for Earth, I'd say. You guys have convinced me. What is this? The Oni. What power is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be, like, more darkness? Then what's that supposed to be? Oh, destruction. That's what this is supposed to be. Destruction. The power of the Oni. My bad. Where'd it go? Okay, destruction. I mean, yeah, unless you want to be like a super evil villain, I'm not sure how often you're going to be using destruction. At least with creation, you can make anything, right? With destruction, I don't know. I'm not sure what you'd be doing with that on a daily basis. Should we put it in not very useful or just somewhat useful? One of these two. I'm kind of on the fence for these guys. You could destroy Applebee's. I guess if you had some very specific beef towards Applebee's, I don't see why not. Very useful, make everyone your slave. I mean, yeah. Yeah, this is kind of like Garmadon's power of destruction right here. I'm gonna say not very. I'm gonna make that decision, not very. Because why not? We need more down here anyway. Shadow. You can blend into shadows and be creepy McCreeperson. Okay, that's pretty useful, I'd say. Again, this is more so like a stealth power. It's kind of like the same thing as smoke, right? Kind of, sort of, in terms of like being stealthy and blinding enemies or whatever. You know, making... it's kind of like a spy power. I don't know. Shadow. I guess it would kind of suck if it was like a really sunny day out and there wasn't any shadow. I mean, how often could you utilize that? So I guess I'll say somewhat useful. Stalking for real. I mean, if that's your thing, I wouldn't recommend that, man. It's kind of a not so good thing to do. But I guess with shadow, you could probably do that maybe. So. Yeah, I'll say somewhat useful. Yeah, also with light. Yeah, light is not your friend there, and a lot of people do have lights on from what I've seen around this planet, so I'll say somewhat useful for Shadow. Very specific. Tech. Ooh, tech power. I mean, I'm sure a lot of us utilize electronics. I mean, we're all utilizing electronics right now to be here on stream, right? So, but with tech, you could basically recreate things, reimagine things, rebuild things. I think this could be very useful in our modern day civilization. I'd say very useful. Hey, you can charge your phone maybe. Yeah, if your car broke down, you can just repair it super easily. Honestly, not too bad. I kind of like the tech power. I think it works a lot for this real planet, this real world. So I will say very useful. Very, very useful indeed. Let's see, what else do we got here? Poison. Yeah, what would you use poison for? Honestly, yeah, what would you use poison for? how would this fit into your everyday life? I mean, this would be like a supervillain power for sure. I don't know. I kind of do want to put it in useless because, like, what are you going to use poison for? Unless you're trying to, like, kill rats in your house or something. What else are you going to utilize poison for? I guess with that being said, I just did list, like, a purpose. So maybe not very useful because it's kind of like, when are you going to use that? How are you going to use that? So, oh yeah, you could become an assassin. Yeah. Yeah, so unless you want to hurt people, I'd say, you know, go for it, but not very useful. I can't see this being utilized for a lot of everyday things. Speed, meanwhile, that's going in very useful. You can run super fast. Yeah, that would save a lot of time, literally. So yeah, I'll say very useful. You can run super fast. Presumably you could do things really quickly as well. Very, very useful. So many good things could come out of speed, so I'd say very useful. To enter Area 51. I think a lot of these in very useful could be utilized to enter Area 51. Absolutely. But speed, most definitely. I'd become A-Train. Oh no. You don't want to be like A-Train from The Boys. But no, he basically is A-Train. So, very useful. Next up, oh, this is our last one. Heat. How do you guys feel about heat? You could heat things up. It's kind of like a poor man's fire. It could probably do a lot of the same things that fire does, right? I mean, you can cook things, burn things. I'll say very useful just because it's kind of like the same thing as fire, but it just kind of has a different name. So, I mean, what can heat do that fire can't, right? And who knows, maybe heat could do like a lot of other things too. Like we haven't seen the full extent to her power just yet. Like maybe you could control temperatures of things, right? You can control whatever temperature it is outside or maybe even in your room. So I'll say very useful. Just because it's kind of like the same thing as fire, plus it's not like we know a whole lot about it anyway. And a lot of these other ones here are repeats. For some reason, they are repeated here a couple times. And thank you, Charlie Jones, for making that tier list right there. But I think that is our tier list of the usefulness of various elemental powers. Oh yeah, Lloyd. Oh yeah, Lloyd. Oh yeah, we didn't even do Lloyd. Okay, not sure why you're not there, Lloyd. All right, energy. What do you guys think about energy? Energy, what even is energy? Yeah, Lloyd's green power. How would you even utilize that? Kind of want to say useless, man. I mean, what does it do? I mean, you can shoot little projectiles out of your hands for sure. It's good for offense. I don't know. Yeah, it's literally just like blast and stuff. I guess I'll say somewhat useful. Because, like, I mean, I guess it might work for some things. But I can't see this one being used for a lot of, like, everyday... You know, I'm going to bump it down to not very useful. Just because, like these other powers here, I can't see it being utilized in, like, a lot of everyday scenarios like some of these other powers. So I'll say not very useful. Energy is still the most unknown thing in existence. Very, very true. Yeah, I didn't even realize I forgot Lloyd. I guess he is in there a couple times, right? Did we forget anybody else? I don't think so. Apologies there, my good friend Lloyd. Oh yeah, you can light up dark places, that's true. Yeah, still, I'm going to put it in not very useful. I don't think Dareth is here, is he? But if I did have Brown on this list, I'd probably drop it in the useless section. So I think that is our list right there, since we added our good friend Lloyd. Thank you, DD Cope, for the $1.99 super chat in the chat. Thank you very much. Did Doc just foreshadow Nauticon's return? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier in the stream, and I do plan on doing a video about it tomorrow. But yeah, I think he... Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. Because if,
would not want you to do this, brother.
Because if Ninjago is fused with Ninjago, right, would Nauticon even be there? Where did Nauticon go after Skybound? If anything, he more or less, I guess, foreshadowed the return of Ninjago. Maybe we can see another Jin in Dragon's Rising. That'd be cool to see, like, other Jins. Not too shabby. But thank you, DD Cope, for the $1.99 super chat. Appreciate that. What if you can also, or what if you can absorb energy, like stealing potential energy from other objects? Ooh, I didn't even think about that. I guess that would be useful in some scenarios, right? I guess maybe I'll think about that a little bit more. I kind of still want to keep it in the not very useful tier. I think that's my final tier list right there. What time is it getting to be here? Ooh, 7:06. I didn't even realize that it was a little bit over time. We might be able to do like one more quick one if you guys want to. Like one more super quick tier list. Let's see if we can find like one more super quick one. One that we could do like really, really fast. What is this? Ninjago Vor tier list. Yeah, I know what I said. I don't even want to click on that one, dog. No, thank you. Ninjago ships. What is this? What is this? Some of these thumbnails scare me on tiermaker.com, y'all. Some of these are a little bit ugh. Let's see, what else do we got here? Yeah, I ain't doing the Ninjago Vor tier list. Ninjago geese. Ninjago seasons. And it's just the kid in the Kai costume. Oh no. What is this TV? What is that emoji? I like how this one's just the top of Aaron's hair. I enjoy that quite a bit, actually. We gotta find like a super quick one. Oh, there's the Ninjago hoods one again. No, I'm not doing the Vor tier list, man. Oh, do they have like a Ninjago costume tier list? Because that would be pretty funny. Ninjago costume. Let's see what comes up. I don't think so. But we could do the Cookie Run alternate costume tier list, but I hesitate to ask what Cookie Run is. No. Let's see. Opinions on Pick Zane. Pretty cute couple. Honestly, one of the most wholesome couples of all time. How's Kat doing? She's doing pretty good. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it will be fine too, to be honest. I'm still going to cut that out of stream though. Absolutely. I'm going to wait until the stream is available to edit, and then I'm definitely going to be cutting it out for sure. Honestly, I probably could, I don't know if I could sue Tiermaker for that. Maybe though, maybe. Do you need me to pay for your therapy sessions? I think I got it covered, but I wouldn't mind chipping into y'all's therapy sessions a little bit if you feel so inclined to need therapy. Let's see. Will you do an outfit tier? Perhaps, if Tiermaker would stop showing us some weird things. Can you actually sue? I mean, I don't think so. I mean, it's obviously... Well, I don't know, because is that stuff even allowed on Tiermaker, y'all? I have no idea. What's your real name? What's a good fake name? What's a good fake name? Chris Pratt, there you go. That's my real name for sure. Let's see. Would you ship Euphrasia and Sora? I kind of see them more as friends, but I don't think they'd be the worst couple ever. Yes, Tyrone. His name is Manu. Let's see. Already in therapy, so I should be good. Alright, glad to hear. I'm not in therapy right now. So, maybe I should be, though. Let's see. Let's answer one more question before we wrap things up here. Ooh, will you ever post on Twitch again? That's a good question. I don't think so, because honestly, with like streaming, I pretty much have all of my needs right here on YouTube. So I don't think I ever will go back to Twitch, if I'm being honest with you. But, you know, I have considered it in the past. But then again, Twitch also does a lot of things as a company that I'm not like super into, in all honesty. So I don't know. I think I'm going to stick here on YouTube, stick it out here with streaming and such. Yeah, it is exactly like the Ninjago Nia situation. With that being said, though, guys, why don't we wrap it up there? Because I need to do some editing. I need to remove that from my existence. With that being said, though, guys, thank you so much for watching. We stream Monday to Friday, 6 to 7 Central. Daily updates on the community tab, all of that good stuff. And let's wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemenses. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's stream, feel free to like and subscrizzle, do all that fun stuff. And hopefully, if my channel doesn't get removed, tiermaker.com, we will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place for another stream. But I appreciate you guys watching this one. Have a great day, everybody. Sorry for that weird Tiermaker thing. I appreciate that, Tiermaker. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you guys again really, really soon. Peace.